Good job. So let's.
Yeah. So this segment coming up right now is one we've kind of kicked around for a while. I've been interested in for a lot of reasons. But it is a marker of, it's a milestone in kind of our era of our life, and it's definitely a result of COVID. And that is what's going on in the movie industry, really the entertainment industry, and we might talk a little bit about music in this too, but just the drastic changes. Theaters were closed. Now AMC, and this is interesting, AMC is opening back up a lot of their theaters, and they're talking about adding more theaters.
Right.
And, I think it's Regal hit the news a couple weeks ago. Once they pushed the James Bond movie out until 2021, Regal Cinema said, I don't think we're going to make it. I think we're, and
yeah.
So we have this situation where, huge cash cows like these Marvel movies, that it just seemed like nothing could stop them from like the insane amounts of money they were generating. And we've really had no headline. They call them tentpole movies. It's the ones that basically hold up the movie industry because they just
pretty much
bring people into the theaters.
Yeah.
They haven't released any tentpole movies this year, and so what do we do, right? What's the solution? What's this going to look like in a year, 6 months?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it is such a huge industry, and I mean, let's face it. In recent years, they took a lot of big hits because people were just afraid to go into theaters because of some of the the unfortunate mass shootings that were occurring in some of these theaters. You had that whole dark cloud hanging over them because of that, and I think they remedied that with a lot of safety procedures in place. Nothing's 100% guaranteed, and then COVID hits. We were slated this year to have so many killer movies come out, man.
Now you found a list here of stuff that's been pushed, and it's honestly too long to go into. Can we put a link up? Yeah, we'll just put a link to it on the mentioned on the podcast page on partscounterguru.com.
Do that if you want to know what's coming out and what's been delayed and the new release date, because a lot of them have now take for granted, like in the instance of Batman, it was originally slated for a release date of June 25th of this year, 2021. Then they moved it to October 1, 2021. Now it's been moved to March 4 of 2022.
Well, now that one's a little interesting because the lead actor, Robert Pattinson, contracted COVID-19, and they had to postpone production. So there are several things that I want to get into. I want to get into my prediction of what I think is going to happen. B, what kinds of opportunities this does create, because there is some opportunity.
There is some alternative opportunities out there. That's right.
Here's just the short list of kind of big name movies. So obviously the Bond movie, No Time to Die, which they ran movie trailers for up to a year ago. That one's been pushed back. There's 4 Avatar movies coming out now that have all been pushed back. The Fast Saga, which is your Fast and Furious movies.
Matrix 4.
Matrix 4 is in production now, but it's been delayed. The Batman you already mentioned. Black Widow was supposed to be out. That's the big Marvel movie of the summer. That got pushed.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. I mean,
that was the kids from Stranger Things. One of them. 2 of them? One of them?
Yeah.
One of them for sure.
One of them, I think.
Yeah.
Now, here's something I did not realize this, man. I didn't that's show me not being, in the know, but Mission Impossible 7 and 8. So 7 was supposed to has been moved from July 23rd, 2021 to November 19, 2021. And then Mission Impossible 8 has been moved from August 5th, 2022 to November 4th, 2022, which makes sense because Cruise is probably shooting.
Well, and speaking of Cruise, Top Gun was supposed to be out. We were all looking forward to that. Top Gun Maverick.
Right.
The Eternals, which is a big Marvel movie. The Flash. Wow. I just...
the list is just endless, man. This one here, what was it? Minecraft, The Matrix 4.
Greyhound was actually... I saw Greyhound.
Yeah. Right.
was apparently supposed to be a theater release, and then they just released it on Apple TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. I didn't know that there was a Beatles, the Beatles Get Back. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and, Shazam 2, which the first one was a pretty great, entertaining family movie. Star Wars has been delayed.
Jurassic World has been delayed.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. See, all the movies that I like, you don't like. So I know we can't go to the movies together.
Yeah, maybe. Untitled Indiana Jones
unless
movie.
Unless you'd be willing to share your popcorn with me then.
Yeah, I'd do it.
I'd buy you some
extra big. Yeah.
So while we're on that subject, and we'll get back to this, but here's some. Let's put some light into this darkness real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not real big on a theater environment, and I'll tell you why.
This is exactly where I was going to take this anyway.
People are just, do I really have to tell you to wash your hands? I mean, I don't like sticky chairs and that sort of stuff, and people hacking and on their phones, and I know there's certain regulations and people will kick you out if that's the case, but sometimes people are just in their own little world, which that's what movies kind of do to you. They help you get in your own world while you're watching it, and you should enjoy it. But I'm always a guy, I'm right to concessions, man, and I'm going to buy the biggest bucket of buttered popcorn and a Coke.
You and my kid. And then he complains
I just
when
love
I reach
it.
in there.
That's what I love about going to movies.
And,
Otherwise, I don't go. So this might be advantageous to us in some of the alternative ways that we can get in.
So, yeah. So let's. Yeah, so I'm going to mention one last movie because I know, Jay, this was big on your list. I was actually itching to see this. Wonder Woman 1984, which was supposed to be out this summer. So to your point about the people factor. So there's several factors that the movies have had against them already, and you've mentioned several of these. Number one was these terrorism acts that unfortunately have caused problems. Number two was the kind of disgusting element that you got to deal with, but the people being rude, people on their phones. Those phones are bright, and I'm sitting 5 rows back, and I'm like, oh, what turn? Or my favorite, and I am the guy. By the way, if you answer your phone in the middle of the movie, and I've literally heard this, I've heard, bring, bzz, bzz, bring, bzz, bzz. And then you're like, oh, seriously, you're not going to answer. You're sort of waiting to see them get up and head out, but instead you get, hello. I'm the guy 5 rows back that goes, hey, jackass, it's me. Put your phone up.
That's awesome. That would be me too, man.
Yeah.
I get so livid with people when in those circumstances, man. I hate it. It just bugs me, man, because that's my space, man. When I buy a seat, it's my space.
Now, 2 strikes against them already, and then we have the advent of higher definition. We've got, most of us have 4K televisions now.
Right.
Home theater sound's getting better. Everybody's got sound bars, and it's we've improved in the quality of the home theater experience all around. Okay.
Yeah.
We have all these streaming outlets now.
Mm-hmm. TVs are bigger.
Where is this ultimately heading? Right? And so the movie industry from the production side, so your movie studios, so your Marvel, your Disney, Marvel, Paramount, all the big players, they are hedging their bet. If you look at this list of production dates that were pushed, they are hedging their bet on a vaccine. And we're just basically going to kick the can down the street until 2021.
Right.
And hope that things, as we've heard many times, return to normal.
Right.
And I understand the reason why they need to do that, because those movies are so expensive to make, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
That they can't just go straight to digital release, because the old model was they made, a Marvel movie on its release weekend would make
$100 million.
Some of them make $100 million.
Yeah.
Then it's out for a couple months, and it makes however much more. Then it goes to digital or DVD or on demand, and it makes a whole bunch more. Well, if you skip that first segment, you're going straight to the second or third paycheck, and you're not going to make as much. And if it costs, $150 or $200 million to make a Bond movie, they can't take that as a loss, right?
That's right.
They would rather delay it than put it in a theater now where they can only have 50% or 40% capacity.
That's right.
But going forward, and this is where at the top of the show we said, how does this tie into vehicles? Well, the comeback of the drive-in. I mean,
that's it,
we're
man.
already starting to see that, right?
Absolutely. Drive-in movie theaters are making a comeback. They are. I mean, they have around here. I know they have in your area.
Yeah. Cars are more comfortable now.
Right. And we'll get into, not only is this affecting the movie industry, but it's also affecting the music industry.
Yeah.
Which will tie into drive-in theaters.
Well, drive-in events, right? And so we've got more comfortable cars now. We've got better sound systems in those vehicles now. So the quality of the experience is still there.
Check it out. So the delivery of audio, just think how easy this can be for someone. Now you have all these Bluetooth devices out there, and you get a special pin or whatever to log into rather than having the speaker out.
We all have our phones connected to our vehicles already, right?
That's it.
Just send it to your phone, and
send it to your phone, and you got this surround sound inside your vehicle, man. It's perfect.
Yeah, and you can do concessions. So I do think we're going to continue to see a comeback there because it's a viable option. Now in the winter when it gets cold, right? Now as EVs continue to dominate, you don't have to deal with people in the car next to you starting their car to warm back up because
that's exactly right.
Tesla with the heater on is completely silent.
Do you see a huge opportunity for drive-in theaters to be multi-purpose for that very reason?
And you can do concert shows there. So
you can have charging stations where you can just have power where you can just plug in at each.
There you go. Just put your credit card in, and you want to charge up while you're watching? Sure. And
just keep it plugged in.
That's a great invention, Jay. Yeah. And so the Live Nation thing that you posted, Live Nation already got on board with some drive-in concerts, and they're a big promoter of music events, among other things.
Yep. That's right.
And they are going to the larger cities and doing these outdoor events.
That's right.
And you can do that in the summertime. When it gets cold out, that's when your arena shows would typically tour.
But there's been something else out there in the music industry that I've seen lately, where these entertainers, these bands, are all gathered in one soundstage, and they have all the engineers and lighting and everything, and they basically have a green screen behind them, for effects and all that stuff. So a lot of I think we're going to see a lot more virtual concerts. So in the wintertime, if you have an outlet like a drive-in theater where you can pull your EV in and plug in, and from the comfort of your own vehicle, watch a live concert.
Well, that's movie season also, right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me if this is how it's going to be, and this ties back into what you were saying. Why are we pushing these large production movies back further and further and further? Well, they've got a lot of money invested into these things. I mean, from just the PR standpoint alone of putting them, hey, we got this, all the money that goes into just, advertising these things, that's a huge loss already. They've got so much money that they've lost. So I agree with you that they're pushing it out further and further in hopes that when we do get on the other side of this thing, that they are going to be able to come back into theaters. Right now, that's questionable because there are some small independent theaters that have opened up recently, and they've done their thing, but then shortly after they've had to close back down because of outbreaks. But as you said earlier in this segment that we were talking about, most of these large box cinemas they can't open. They've tried soft rollouts recently, but amidst of the latest wave of this stuff, it's just almost impossible to guarantee safety.
And I agree with what you said. There's entrepreneurial opportunity in all of this, right? So
absolutely, we've been saying that all along.
Make lemonade. You've got to take your challenges and find ways around them. And there's plenty of other challenges that we haven't touched on. I understand that, but look, put the EV charging stations and let it be used for that. When you're not showing movies, and do some other things to multi-purpose this facility.
That's right.
And I think it becomes viable from an investor standpoint to build these things. And there's not a huge amount of build out. It's not the same as building a shopping mall or even building a movie theater, because most of it is a flat surface, right? And you're, yes, there's going to be some equipment and there may be a stage and all that, but you're not building 17-story buildings. We're not building the latest Marriott.
The return on investment on something like that is going to be far greater than a actual boxed cinema. I mean, you're going to have a quicker return on investment there than I think you would if it were cinema. And you're right. I think it's a no-brainer. Where they will invest, and if they're smart and they do this thing right, it would be in the technology to make the experience. Right. If they will embrace the technology that's out there to make the experience better than what it used to be back in the old days, even though still, man, it was always so fun to sit on the back of the car or in the back of the pickup truck or, on a nice sunny a warm night and just enjoy yourself. So anyway, that's, I don't know where it's going to go, pal.
I, for one, would be happy to go do some drive-in stuff. That's a good outing.
Absolutely, I would. I would.
And, who knows? We might see a population boom after that. Anyway, on that note, you didn't see that coming, did you?
No, I did not, man. I did not.
Jay, I know you already gave out a lot of the social stuff. Any closing thoughts? Maybe hit here. You want me to take a stab at it one more time? Guys,
sure, go ahead.
If you're watching this, if you're listening to it, first of all, thank you so much. We appreciate your subscriptions. We live and die by those. Check us out on our social media websites. Oh boy, I'm going to get in the weeds here. Facebook.com/Parts Counter Gurus. Is that right?
That's it. That's it.
Okay,
man.
that's one. Let's see if I can keep this going without.
Man.
I see the Family Feud buzzers in the background. Instagram.com/The Parts Counter Gurus.
That's us, man. That's awesome.
Twitter @The Counter Show.
That's right.
And what? There's one more, right? Am I missing any?
No. Facebook.com/Parts Counter Gurus.
Yeah. Oh, and our website, partscountergurus.com. There you go.
Partscountergurus.com. Yeah, just go there. Go there. You'll find everything that Keith just mentioned.
Get the full podcast. Get links to download it. Articles. We've got all kinds of great stuff out there for you, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for watching. Yes, Jay?
Nothing. I was just gonna. I had a fun time today.
Yeah,
this is
likewise.
Good. I needed this, and you know why. I appreciate it. So I'd like to dedicate this particular episode to Harley. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, that's so perfect. Yeah, thanks, man, for doing that. So for my pal Jay over there, somewhere, I think to my left.
I'm here. I swear I am.
I'm Keith. Thank you all for watching. I don't feel tardy. Ooh, see you next time, guys.
Yes.
Hey, jackass, it's me. Put your phone up.